All right, folks. It is 8 o'clock p.m. Y'all know what time it is. It is Earl Grey Tuesday. And it's me. It's that VINCE. I'm actually streaming from Streamlabs Mobile. So I'm actually going to try that out tonight until my equipment actually gets in, which should be in a month or so, to where I'll have a much better internet connection. But so far, so good. The only reason why there was a couple of hiccups is because I was testing out the streaming of the music, which cuts into the bandwidth. So, Earl Grey, and this time I actually bought a couple packs. Don't have. Of course, also I poured myself a cigar. Yep, it's still going to freeze, which I'm gonna take care of in just a second here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to restart the computer, actually. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, but it is freezing pretty bad, so in just a minute. All right. Like I said, folks, had to try out a couple things here, so solution. And see whether this still freezes or not. So I've dropped the resolution down to 480. Let me get this back on. Tats do make him look like a mental patient there. It's kind of what we got now. Yep, the issue is also the cellular connection. But like I said, this will all come to an end very, 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 very soon. Thank goodness. And then we'll have some decent internet. Wonder how that's pulling that much here. See any of the dramatics between Malcolm Flex and not really. I don't keep up with those two nutcases. I did see Ask Yourself's, someone texted me Ask Yourself's debate that he did today. As usual, I thought that was boring. But folks, tell me whether the stream is going okay or not there. Hey Joel, what's up? We're trying out some things here, so just work on. How tall am I? I am 5'11". Could. Oh, let's see here. Only one thing we can do. Hang tight. We'll drop the resolution down even further. It's working fine there. Okay. Joel, if you're lying, man, I mean, remember, one thing, I can see from here that I am getting lower frame rates here, so I have dropped the resolution. Like I said, I'm trying everything I possibly can in order to get things up and running, so I'm going to do one other, well, I don't think I can do it from here, possibly. Now, you see, it keeps dipping from 500 down to all of these kilobytes. What to do. 1 second. Hopefully this does not cut off the stream, but I'll be right back, folks. That's interesting. All right. I think this should do the trick. All right, can you guys still hear me? All right, should see an improvement in the bandwidth there, possibly. But let me know if that's, you should see a difference in just a minute. Jacob, I can't test the bandwidth connection. It's always been bad around here. I don't have cable or fiber. So, like I said, I'm trying out something new, and what better way to do it than to do it live. So, now my kilobytes are actually reading, so... so, hopefully it stays that way. I told you guys I was going to try out something new there, didn't I? I mean, seriously. In order for me to do so, I got to play with it a little bit. Like I said, I'm using Streamlabs Mobile. So, well, anyway, let me go ahead and get my cigar. Yeah, I actually took off the Verizon home internet. Now I'm streaming with Mint Mobile, actually. So, yeah, I always knew that the Verizon home internet was throttled, so I moved to an unthrottled connection. So that's why I'm waiting on that equipment, folks. No, my job is no longer the internet, KCB. I don't work at Verizon anymore. Maybe they're doing this on purpose since I left the company. Oh, well. Yeah, Mint Mobile. Yeah, I buy websites and fix them, but, you know, I don't have any control over the cell phone companies whatsoever. But it should be It should be streaming a lot better now. So, or at least I hope so. Yeah, I know Mint Mobile. All right, so go ahead and get your questions in, other than the internet there. So, oh boy. Well, it doesn't surprise me, Athens, that Richard is trying to do some cross-dressing. He's just finding a reason to do it, and he's just, in my opinion, I think he's just playing around with it. He's letting it circulate in his head. Now, folks, he's already cross-dressed before, if you guys remember, in his early videos, so it's not much for him to actually put on a wig and a dress. So, but, you know, this is just a little bit different. I would expect, and I'm just speculating, that chances are he'll probably decide to do some cross-dressing. No, I don't have there's no 4K option for me on Streamlabs Mobile. That's what I'm using, folks, is Streamlabs Mobile. So what it is what it is, and what it's going to be is what it's going to be. The downside is I'm not going to be able to switch screens or anything if I need to go and react to a video. So that's going to be a no bueno with this, you know. Yep, the room is a little, well, the room's smoky because I got a cigar, you know. Oh, they were talking about vegan gains. He went on his channel. He has desires to do cross-dressing, which he's cross-dressed before, but now I think he's wanting to really go out in public and do it. Ah, you're rolling? Okay, good deal. It's possible it can still stutter, but, try to do my best here. Jasmine's allowing him to cross-dress, but I think that Jasmine would feel weird about him cross-dressing and here or going out and cross-dressing, and here's the reason being. The reason being is because Richard's a big guy and he's hairy and everything like that. So if he was to cross-dress, he's gonna pretty much look weird unless he shaves himself there. But then we're getting into all sorts of insanity. I think more or less some of the medicine is actually talking rather than he is. Just to be honest with you folks. What's the overlay? Oh, that's just I'm streaming from my phone, so I got a lot of stuff on the phone, so it's got a storage warning on it. So you think he's on Haldral? That's kind of weird. If he's actually taking steroids, then he may as well start eating meat and abandon the vegan diet. I mean, that would be quite pathetic. I only went on testosterone shots because, I have a true medical condition, and stuff. Whereas he's in his 30s, his body is still producing testosterone, so there's no reason for him to start using testosterone. Just saying. I don't have any porn on my video on my phone whatsoever. I do have a lot of files on my video. I have a bunch of files on my camera. Excuse me. I got a lot of videos on my phone, so I do need to clean it out pretty soon. Well, just because his voice has changed, KCB, that doesn't definitively says that, he's on steroids. I mean, my voice is, you are correct on the voice. You're on the point as far as the voice is concerned, because my voice has actually changed ever since I started doing TRT. Are there any naughty files? No. Most of it is if you really want to know what's on the camera, it's actually YouTube videos that I've actually done on here, as well as taking pictures with friends and stuff. At this point, for me, yes, but that's going to be the very most you should do as far as protein. 1 gram of protein per pound. I would really prefer if most people, regular folks that are not on steroids, do 1 gram per kilogram of body weight. So, but to each his own. And part of the reason being is because the kilogram matches up better. We should be going by the, there's a difference between that metric system and the English system. But, you gotta, here's what I would recommend, Truth One. I would go ahead and try 1 gram per kilogram of body weight. And if you find that you're not getting enough protein, then step it up. Yeah, Athens, he would look awful weird, but, I've seen weirder. Dusty, Richard wouldn't miss the opportunity of putting that on OnlyFans. as far as him cross-dressing and doing other sexual activities, because he knows that's going to get some membership signed up. So if you're going to see it, it's probably going to be on his OnlyFans. He'll eventually upload it on YouTube there. KCB, I don't think that'll be the case. The reason being is because since everyone is very familiar with Richard's history, that's just not going to apply. You can't, as far as gyno is concerned, if you are taking gear, then you should take some anti-aromatizers. But otherwise, you want to keep your body fat level at a minimum percentage. Well, the FBI wouldn't be on his radar, KCB, because he's in Canada. So he's not America's responsibility. I'm sure Canada has their own version of the FBI. I'm more than sure of it. I just can't think of the name of it. But I'm more than sure he's been on that radar ever since he got arrested. Well, truth one, I can't give that type of specific advice. What I would recommend doing is finding a coach or even a doctor that can give you recommendations. I think that's going to be your best bet. But that's not something I can go into. I can give details as far as to what you should use per se, but getting detailed information like that can get me in trouble with YouTube. No, Joel, they probably blocked it if you said fentanyl. But I think it's very disturbing that he thinks that he wants to go and take fentanyl. I would consider that almost a suicidal way of talking, to be honest with you. Yeah, he's been arrested before. The cops went and broke down his door and everything. He was arrested and convicted for terroristic threats. So, yes, Richard has a criminal record. I would rather fight one giant glute ham raise. I mean, I can beat up a bunch of little blahas, even a big one. But there's nothing like glute ham raises. They're good for you. Y'all didn't know that? There was a bunch of videos. I actually did a video on him getting arrested. It's somewhere in my archives. This was from a very long time ago. Richard's not going to end up on the streets. He'll just go back home to his mama, He'll just go back home to his parents. He's not going to go on the streets. Am I jealous of Richard? Hell no. I would like to be in my 30s again, I would like to have my hair again growing, but that's about it, I don't wish to be anyone else but me because I am me, in other words. Oh, that's only because I took that picture at the Sip Whiskey Bar, Truth One. I was standing next to, a guy that played basketball. He was 6'6". Other guy was standing on top of the sofa, but he was still taller than me. So I was just standing. I'm going to be dwarfed if I'm standing around people that are actually taller than me. Remember, I'm 5'11", so. Parents always take back their kids' thick cut, no matter what. It doesn't matter. His parents will take him back. He hates his parents, but at the end of the day, he can't be that stupid to stay on the streets. If he doesn't go home to his parents, he'll stay over one of his vegan butt buddies' houses. He'll crash there. If I had my hair back, I'd probably get my flat top back. Now that that's back in style, because that's what I wore for many years back in the 90s. William, shut up. As far as his pets and Jasmine are concerned, I guess they will have to fend for themselves, but more than likely his pets would be turned over to an animal shelter or something. Either that or some of his vegan butt buddies will adopt the pets and stank-ass rabbits and stuff. I mean, you don't really need to adopt the rabbits. They can be put into the woods and stuff. The truth, when all those people were people I didn't even know. And no, I didn't take anyone home and had no intentions there. Yeah, he'll stay with his vegan buddies here, so. I mean, they're just as crazy as he is. You know who they were? You know Tucker Carlson was replaced by Lawrence Jones, right? I mean, after Lawrence gets done with that show, they're going to wish they had Tucker back, that's for sure. Well, KCB, I wouldn't have to worry about that. Number one, she would have to get up to speed. And number two, I've had people try to tackle me in prison, so I would just move to the side, you know. You know, that's just simple Aikido that I can actually do. You know, use their motion against them, in other words. Yeah, a good pot of Hassenpfeffer sounds pretty good there, Dusty. You ever had Hassenpfeffer before? I could see Truth One's comments. That's not a black guy, that's a white guy. Nah, I don't lose any debates here against vegans. You have to remember, Andy, you know, I could have literally crushed her completely and crushed Richard. But no matter what, vegans are always going to say that the other person lost, you know. That's just the way they work. My job is to educate, not so much as win. And I think I did. I hit my points, and Elle told me that she's no longer going to eat any avocados or peanuts after she found out what I told her, you know, and stuff. So the guy on the left actually competed, but he was like 6'2". But he competed in bodybuilding too, so yeah. The black guy, if you're referring to. The white guy, he played basketball, so he was like 6'6". Old retired, you probably just need to reset the YouTube. Just close it out, clear your cookies, and then just reload it. Yeah, I had the kid and play flat top back in the 90s. Just about every black person had that. Well, some of them don't eat bugs there because they feel in their mind that bugs have pain receptors. It takes more than one debate thick cut in order for someone to change their mind, you know. And some people are just not going to do it simply. Probably 6'5" or 6'6", Jacob. Well, insects are all over everything, you know. That's why you should always wash your vegetables and stuff. They also got chemicals and stuff on them. Yeah, I found that kind of weird, Tom, that he sits down to pee, you know. Real men stand up and pee. If you got to take a dump, that's when you sit down. Is the height shoes things true at all? Well, I wear a size 12 and mine is 8 inches, so, you know, it isn't true at all. If you've been to prison, you know how to sit cell rules. Stop splashback. No, I still take a pee even, you know. Most people still take a pee in the cell. They don't worry about that. I mean, they do get toilet paper, Jacob, to wash. You know, we ain't that hardcore. Well, thick cut, that's what God gave me, so. Well, thick cut, if you're white, you have a higher credit score than I do. I think that joke was in poor taste, but, oh well. Hey, thick cut, work with what you got, man. Work with what you got. You know, the purpose is actually just to hit the prostate there. Or, well, that's just for me, but, you know, as long as you hit the right spot, you hit the clitoris there, thick cut, you know, you should be fine. I mean, if you're going to do some ass play or something like that, then you want to hit the prostate. I've been to porn shops, William, that's had glory holes. I've definitely never been into one, you know. I'm scared of those things. You don't know, number one, who's blowing you. And also, I always have that fear to where you put it through and someone takes a sword and just hacks it off or so. Here's the thing there, William. if it's going to have to be in public, if it's going to be something that's going to be embarrassing, for example, then I generally just stay away from it, just to be honest with you. Did I ever have a job that's left me to drain the train? Oh yeah, I used to work in a warehouse and at Walmart and stuff. But on the other hand, that was basically a workout in itself. In fact, with my Walmart unloading job, I didn't even need to do cardio whatsoever. All I needed to do was weightlifting, and that was it. Folks, let me know if it's still dropping a couple frames or if there's any audio issues and stuff. I mean, we're not going to have these problems anymore once I get this equipment hooked back up there. I've never heard of that porn movie, Quick Pump. There's thousands of porn movies out there. You know, I'm not a big porn hog or anything. The only time I ever had movies was back in the late 90s when, you know, it was appropriate to get video cassettes and then eventually DVDs. Well, mostly I had those 6-hour VHS tapes. I'll check them out, Truth One. No, that's good. I'll probably start using this. The only thing I'm going to probably run into, well, like I said, I'm going to get that internet issue fixed because this will no longer be hooked up to the Verizon home internet because that's actually what's buffering. So right now I'm on Mint Mobile, you know. Good mints. Okay, I'll check out the profile later on, Truth One. I've been doing a little bit better in posting to my Instagram, and I'll try to do a little bit more. Would I live stream Wolfenstein? Once the internet's up, I'll definitely be playing video games. Close-up of the statue? Sure, why not? Since we got clear stuff here, so... That's a close-up. This here is the writing inscription probably doesn't look right up here, so it's got cracks behind from all the traveling and stuff like that, but it's going to stay. The reason being is because even under here there's metal rods, so this isn't going anywhere. But it's old. Yeah, I'll live stream it there one day, William. Got to get the internet fixed first. Oh yeah, I played Wolfenstein in the 90s. I played Doom as well. I beat Duke Nukem. Yeah, I saw him $50. But you know, it's a very. I mean, like I said, I tell people as far as Muscle Sport TV, you never know who you expect. I mean, even I show up there sometimes. Well, Quick Pump, I've considered it, but it's just too expensive. It's better for me to sell cell phones online. In fact, I just signed an agreement with Teledynamics to where I'm going to be selling office landline equipment. So I'll sell that alongside, cases and everything. Jacob, it's the real Vince Goodrum. Let me type that in. That's from the year 2006, and yes, this was something I won. The only thing I've ever won, so that's why I keep it around. When did I last have a landline? It's been a long time ago. Very long time ago. I would say the last time I had a landline was right when I moved away from, when I moved to, and I got married, I no longer had a landline phone. So I would say 2007. Do I stand or sit to wipe my butt? I stand up and then wipe my butt. I see no point otherwise. Well, Tom, you'll probably get even more drop calls with landline phones. You have to remember those lines are no longer being maintained there, Tom. I mean, they're super old. I mean, the landlines that are left, they're not being maintained. So it would be pointless to get a landline phone. You're just SOL. I mean, if anything, if you have cable or fiber, I would just get a VoIP phone, you know. That's actually going to be more reliable than a landline phone. Yeah, I never used one of those shotgun telephone lines. I just had a separate one that was put in at my apartment, so that way I would have internet to myself. Just had a second line installed and just had at the time I had a 1200 baud modem. So I didn't get a 56 baud modem until I started working at Montgomery Ward. But I didn't even need that because I didn't need that until I got my first IBM computer because I still had an Atari ST and it was text-based web, so there was no need for me to get something like that. Well, $50 sumo wrestlers are fat, so and they eat a lot of food, so I mean it's gonna get nasty. Yeah, I like the statue there. They don't give these out anymore. I think they give out medals now. I would like to get a medal. I think those things are pretty cool. Yeah, we're on Mint Mobile now, which isn't throttled like my Verizon home internet. That's why I'm going to get a separate connection, folks, because of that. I've not weighed myself there, Truth One. I'm just watching the fat melt away. And I'm just being straight with you. All I care about is the fat going. As long as that goes, I'm happy. I'm happier than a pig in shit. The purpose, folks, is not to lose weight, but to lose fat. Get rid of the jiggly blubbly. Yeah, KCB, because there's a lot of these shows are a lot more expensive to run these days. A lot of them are pretty much losing efforts. Well, that was when I was working at Verizon. I had to go out with friends and stuff and do business meetings. When you're eating a lot of fast and fancy foods, that will do it to you. And then now that I'm not eating that, along with the testosterone, it just makes things a whole lot easier. Well, yeah, I'm feeling good about this stream because this is exactly the way it's going to look, folks, sort of, when I get that equipment in. And again, folks, you can thank Pugman. So everybody in the chat, thank Pugman. Because he paid for the equipment. Did I ever have a business meeting at the nudie bar? Yes, I've had a few of them at strip clubs. But that was when I was in the sales business here. So, but not at Verizon, because Verizon is a liberal company. So that would never occur. Gay Pride Parade? Oh, yeah. Never won in a gay bar. Because Greenville, South Carolina doesn't have gay bars anymore. There's like an LGBTQ plus bar. And I'm like, shut the heck up, I would win, Truth One. My best condition's way better than Jason and Lenny. Although we wouldn't have been in the same weight class. I definitely wouldn't have been in the same weight class as Big Lenny. Yeah, I showed it cutting off there. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect. I'm just trying to get it as best as I can. I mean, that's all I can do, really. In fact, I don't even know how many people are in chat right now, actually. Richard ended his stream already? Why'd he end the stream for, Joel? What is my net worth? Unknown. If counting cash-wise, a little over 100,000. But again, folks, that's nothing because that's my retirement. And I need at least $1 million, so I'm 900K down, so, you know. That's also why I'm building websites, you know, just to bring in extra money. And why I'm going to be going back to work. People always ask, why don't I just run the business and just make a living, which is what I've been doing. It's simply because I need to build up money in order to retire. KCB already does gay for pay. I mean, he sticks dildos up his butt. Haven't you seen the stuff? I mean, all the stuff's published on the Misfits forum. Oh, my position on net worth? It's kind of deceptive, you know. Here's the thing. I can go and say technically my net worth is $2.4 million, you know, in assets, but that doesn't mean it's going to sell for $2.4 million, that being on my websites. The way you calculate a website's net worth is you take it and multiply it by 20 and 50 as far as your profits are concerned. So if I multiplied it by 50, for example, that's what gives me the 2.4 million, but that's not always the case. He live streamed for 26 minutes. Oh, wow. Joel, he's never been in a good mental state. I mean, did you see the screaming that he did on Destiny's? Actually, I can play that right now. Hold on a minute. Let me go and play that for you, folks. Hopefully you can hear it. Do. Where is it?
I've answered your question. You're going to answer my question.
Shut the fuck up!
Is there such... You're so stupid. I thought you were a good debater. No, you're dumb.
You asked me a fucking question, so I don't know why the fuck...
I did. Wait. Do you remember what question I asked? What question I asked?
If I fucking just said...
You don't, because you're a fucking coked out...
Obviously, I
You're a coked out idiot, and you don't know what the fuck is going on in the conversation.
Everyone's fucking time.
The conversation is above your head. You're just not following.
Let's play that again, folks.
No, you're dumb.
You asked me a fucking question, so I don't know why the fuck...
I did. Wait. Do you remember what question I asked? What question I asked?
If I fucking just said...
You don't, because you're a fucking coked out...
Obviously, I
You're a coked out idiot, and you don't know what the fuck is going on in the conversation.
Everyone's fucking time.
The conversation is above your head. You're just not following. You're not following.
Get this guy to shut the fuck up for 2 seconds.
Are you gonna cry? Too much cry?
Too much heat in the cup? Wait, Esco, who am I? Can you tell me how this, the argument for Hassan, can you tell me how this grants him copyright over it? Can you?
I'm not answering any
I'm
questions.
the one asking that.
No. Vegan, you're answering my question, crybaby. Hey, crybaby. You're going to answer my question. You're going to answer my question.
How is he the creative mastermind?
Crybaby.
Okay, so right, he can't make argument.
You're going to answer my question.
Every fucking time he makes
You're
an
going to answer
argument,
my
he has to
question.
backtrack.
You bit off more than you
Every time he makes an
chew.
argument, he has to
You're in
backtrack.
trouble now. You didn't think that the person you were talking to actually knew anything, and you're in trouble. You bit off more than...
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, folks. He definitely has never been in a mental... Yeah, he's crying. He's literally crying. Richard doesn't really speak with me anymore. And Lord knows, if I debate him again, he needs to promise me not to bring in other people during the debate in order to help him out. You know, I'm not going to put up with that crap anymore. That's what I was really irritated at. I have no problems beating up whoever comes into the chat whatsoever. No, you can't triple team people. It's just an example of him being a failure in debating, and that he can no longer get away with this name the trait thing, you know. But yeah, I'll be right back, folks. Got to take a piss. You know, it really is nice to have a bathroom right next to my office. Well, Tommy, his debating has gone way down. He can't. It's the medicine. It's the depression and everything. That's all he really has left. Yeah, you automatically lose the debate when you bring in help, you know. He lost a debate once he started bringing people in. That's an automatic loss. That's an automatic L. That's a disqualification. It's like NFL. Too many men on the field. Defense. 5-yard penalty. You should have seen some of his original videos. That's how he got all of his fans. You know, he got so crazy at the time that he got on, he got into that English paper, and then next thing you know, everyone was subscribing to him. That's how he made his bones. NFL is the, National Football League, Joel. KSI debates are still a big thing on YouTube. Hey, David. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, debates are always going to be a thing, you know. People don't always want to watch CNN or Fox. They always like watching debates because it's free. They don't have to pay for it on YouTube. Yes, one American football, or at least one league, the main league. I mean, you also have the XFL, you have the Right now, the USFL is playing, and then you have arena football, but it's still just American football. We love football around here. But yeah, he was quite emotional. It's a shame, too. It really is. All right, folks, we got 1 hour left. Get your questions in. Get your donations in if you wish. If you want to drop some money in for the Swordfish Club, you can. But in the meantime, most importantly, get your questions in. After all, it is Earl Grey Tuesday. The Great One is enjoying his cigar. Yes, indeed. That I am. Which sport is the most boring? Oh, there's so many boring sports. I mean, they got things like badminton and stuff and professional ping pong. I mean, they got all sorts of stuff. There's plenty of boring sports out there. Plenty of them. We'll put a star next to that. And we'll cut that off. Oh gosh, I wish I hadn't done that. Hey Danny, what's up? We're just hanging out using Streamlabs Mobile. So I think it's making for a much better stream. I can actually tell, especially with the kilobytes. So I think I'm doing pretty good. I think we're going to do this again. No, David, I was in ROTC. I never played sports because I also had to work as well. I worked at Taco Bell. So my sport in high school was flipping tacos and working the drive-through. Well, Andy, sports are regional. Soccer is the most popular sport because it doesn't require anything, really. All you need is a ball, and that's it in order to play soccer. You don't need any equipment. You don't need fields. You don't need goals or anything. Anyone can play soccer. No, I don't find Brad attractive at all. Not my type. I ended up going to that bar where I got super drunk. The bartender that joined me for a drink got super mad at me that I didn't text her. Well, lesson learned there, Chad. Just say that you were too wasted or lost the number, but, you can always make a excuse. KSI, I'm a catcher. Or, excuse me, I'm a pitcher, not a catcher. Whoops. Slip of the tongue. I am a pitcher, folks. I throw, don't catch. Boy, that's going to make a horrible soundbite. I can see Chuck E. Cheese Ranch loading that up. Replaying the video and saying, aha! The Great One said he's a catcher. Yeah, he was somewhere, KSI. Again, you never know who drops into the stream. This stream is going awesome. Yes, sir, indeed. Definitely going to use the Streamlabs mobile again. Well, I'm not dating anyone right now there, Truth One. Most of the time I'm working, so at my age, I don't really have any real desire to pursue or anything, if that makes any sense. That's what happens when you get older. I mean, I still look at porn, I jerk off and everything just like any other guy and everything. But, trying to meet up with people and stuff, and these dating apps are all silly and everything, Everyone doesn't want to show their face or anything like that, and it's just all weird. No, I don't have any kids. I just have nieces and nephews. Not entirely, Brotein. You can have someone that's versatile that does both. So either that or even a top will take one for the team sometimes. Of course, then they would be what's called top versatile. Hey, Zach, how you doing there today? I hate hentai porn. I think it's kind of weird with tentacles and stuff like that. Stuff's kind of nasty. Japanese are weird. And they show all that stuff and then they put those pixels up there like it's okay or not. It's not! Still disgusting. I'm not coordinated with skateboarding too well. I mean, I have skateboarded whenever I was a kid. And I was somewhat okay, but I wasn't great at it. Yeah, I don't need to pursue. I mean, look what I don't need to pursue at all. That's just not something I need to do at this point in time. It really isn't. But yeah, skateboarding can be kind of dangerous if you're not doing it right. When did I last hit on a guy? I don't really hit on guys. I really don't need to hit on anyone. Maybe last year or so. And it's not so much hitting on someone, it's just a matter of just moving in, more or less, and striking up a conversation. If I really like someone, then I'll strike up a conversation with them, and then I would just gauge as far as to how the conversation goes, I don't go up with someone like, damn guy, you so fine, you blow my mind. Hi, Mickey. Let's go home and get some barbecue and get busy. I've only got approached one time at the Swordfish, and that's it. That was a long time ago. didn't go home or anything with him or anything. At the Swordfish, all I'm concerned about is having good conversation and having the best drinks around. Well, that doesn't surprise me, Zach. I mean, you have to think of all the falls that he's taken, you know. Yeah, I saw that. That was awful nice of Lenny to actually say that. I was kind of surprised. I mean, I'm never going to position myself as king of the piss troopers. I'm just the same as everybody else in this chat there, you know, all equal, you know.
Hello, big brother Vince G, swollen and full of soul. How are you tonight, man? Sorry I'm so late, been a busy last few hours of work. Also, how's the gym been, man? Making all kinds of gains?
Oh, awesome. I'm glad that you're making gains here. You know, that's the goal at the end of the day, is just to make those gains. But yeah, I definitely do thank you for the donation there, Andrew. At least I know that actually works on the Streamlabs mobile. So actually, let me just pull that back up. Well, I'm actually putting on more muscle now that I'm taking test shots. But, you know, like I said, the jury's still out there in terms of, as far as how much muscle I could possibly put on. But I think the gains are pretty good. The biggest thing, again, I'm focused on is, you know, just losing the fat, you know. Yeah, I remember Dave Mura, sad thing that as far as to what happened to him. But he's alive, and it's better to be alive than to be dead, so. Well, Justin, it's investigative reporting. That's how he always gets those scoops. He just goes and asks questions. He knows who to contact. He has good sources. And if you have good sources, you can always get the inside scoop. I mean, I have sources as well, but, you know, right now I'm mainly concentrating on just doing my other projects and everything. That's all you can do. Nick Trigilli as far as what his progress is, but I can actually ask Nick myself as far as how his progress is in trying to get his channel back. Yeah, Zach, that's testosterone for you. Big Rob made a video last week. He's still making videos. KCB, there's a lot of people that have the CTE. Dave Mura died. Maybe I'm thinking someone else. Hold on. He had a brain injury, but I may be thinking of someone else. Oh, he committed suicide. So I had it somewhat right there. I was thinking of somebody else on that. But, you know, when someone commits suicide, that doesn't always mean that that was due to CTE. And don't forget, he didn't just ride bikes. He did a bunch of other things. I was thinking somebody else. There's a guy that rode a bicycle or so forth that had has a traumatic brain injury. He has trouble walking and everything. Well, truth one, I don't keep up with that particular sport there, so it would be I'm not surprised that I got that mixed up, so my bad on that. Yeah, according to what and I looked this up on Wikipedia, I looked at the picture, it wasn't who I was thinking. That guy shot himself, so. You mean Richard's wife, Jasmine? She's always had it's the haircut that makes her look like Harry Potter. The haircut and the glasses. She had a lot longer hair at one time, looked a lot different, but now that she keeps it short, then that's why she looks like Harry Potter. But I've dated guys that look like Jasmine, so not as big, you know, but. Oh, she might grow her hair back out again. Yeah, that's who they were talking about. I got him mixed up with someone else. Like I said, if I don't keep up with the sport in particular, then I'm gonna F it up pretty bad. Oh, I've encountered plenty of bears, quick pump. Yeah, there are grizzly bears out in the woods and stuff where I live out in the country. Sometimes they'll come out, but most of the time they stay out of the road, so I'm perfectly fine. I don't drive down the road or anything. There's a particular road I don't drive down at night because I don't want to hit. I'm not worried about a bear getting me. I'm just worried about running into them and damaging my car. There's also a lot of deer as well, so I got to watch out for them as well. Why does a certain female... that's because she likes you there, Zach. So, play footsie back. That's a good thing. Why? Don't do a WTF on that. You know, that's a good thing. She likes you. Play footsie back. You know? That's technically first base. Of course, cigar's done. So remember, folks, twist, not jab. Oh, good stream. We doing it well. Yes, sir, indeed. Well, KCB, that would be illegal for me to go and run down deer. I mean, if I'm going to go get deer, it'd be cheaper for me to shoot it. but I don't have a hunting license and I don't, or anything. What kind of cigars I prefer? I prefer Dominican, hand-rolled Dominican cigars. That was a Nicaraguan cigar. I'm beginning to really like the Nicaraguan cigars. That was a Partagas. That was a Cigars International's version of a Partagas cigar. It's an inexpensive cigar, so anytime I smoke the expensive ones, that's when I'm in a cigar lounge. But as long as I age the cigar fine, it's perfect for me. Have I ever dated a Chad? Yes, I've dated a Chad before. Do I prefer grapes or blueberries? Grapes. I'm not big into blueberries. Yeah, I had a friend that went and picked up a lot of people out in the country. If you notice that you see dead animals in the road and then all of a sudden they're gone, it's not because someone went and picked them up there. What usually happens is people pick up the dead animals, they'll take them home, they'll put it in a big stew pot, and then they'll feed their dogs with it. It's a wicked, awful smell, but it's like free dog food. So they'll just take deer, they'll take possums, squirrels, anything that runs out in the road. They'll put it in one of those trash cans, fill it up with water, and then they'll just boil it. I kid you not. None of the misfits are attractive, so I'm not going to have... This is America. I have a freedom of choice, and I choose not to pick any of them. Well, KCB, it's also partially my choice as well. I've tried to apply, but I'm not worried about it. I'm good. It is what it is, and what it's going to be, it's what it's going to be. Not in my opinion. I've had Cuban cigars. They're excellent, but I'm going to be honest with you. My cigars I have are Cuban seed cigars. They're basically seeds from Cuba, but they're just grown on a different soil that's similar to Cuba, That's the Dominican Republic and Nicaragua. I think it's the fact that they're from Cuba is what gives them all the hype. KCB, I don't have a fascination with guns. I've shot enough guns anyway. I was in the military for a short time and did security work, so I don't have that fascination like other people. I'm big on the Second Amendment. I think at some point in time we do need to control our guns, at least... because there's people out there that definitely shouldn't have them, I'll be honest with you. And as a result, we have all these killings there. There just needs to be a different way. I don't think we should go like England and take away all of our guns and stuff like that. I definitely don't believe it. It runs affront to our Constitution. The thing about it is our Constitution was written at a time to where... I'm sure our forefathers would have foreseen automatic weapons, but, they made the Constitution to be ratified, so they just justified it with that, You're working with an amendment that's about 300 years old, so, those are just the effects of things. Can't do nothing about that. Zach, I think they are, given the fact that they're in a, whenever I was an officer, I'm in a position where I can possibly get killed. So, they definitely have to be all right. So.
Ban them all.
Vince with a $15 donation. I don't think all guns should be banned, but there definitely does need to be some checks and balances. What we have right now definitely isn't working. I mean, recently we just had a whole bunch of people killed again. It seems like every day we have a bunch of people killed. I think part of that has to deal also with the ease of getting them, to where you used to have to pay for these guns and now you can get them on layaway and stuff. You don't have to put down any money or anything like that. And they're never going to They're never going to pay anything because they're going to be dead after they go on their shooting spree. So there definitely needs to be some changes to where things like, hey, you can't put guns on credit anymore. I think that'll definitely cut down on stuff. But again, Vince, thanks for the donation. But yeah, the same guy that did the shootings, he didn't pay for his guns. He just got them on. He got them on credit. To go home and eventually hit 20. But again, like I said, we're working with an amendment that's close. I mean, like 250 years old. So yeah, there's definitely going to be some problems. Our forefathers definitely would have foreseen, especially Ben Franklin would have foreseen automatic weapons. That's why they set the Constitution to where it'd be ratified. They also foresaw slavery being abolished eventually, and that was ratified. So, yeah. What's going to end up happening, folks, is there is going to be some severe gun control, probably by the end of the year, to where, guns are definitely not going to be accessible, and eventually to get a gun will be the same as getting a driver's license for your car. Have I seen the clown that hides from gay people? There's a lot of clowns that hides from gay people. There's one in particular that attacked one of my drag queen friends. He's an organizer for Gays Against Groomers, and those guys are a bunch of idiots. In fact, one of them got arrested for having child porn, for possession of child pornography. So, I mean, there's a lot of weirdos out there. My whole thing is, drag shows have been around for centuries, a millennium. They had them in...
Donation goal did not update. And no notification of donation on screen. Only sound of it.
Dougie with a $3 donation. Yes, that's correct, because I'm using Streamlabs Mobile. So it's only going to have the alert, but it's not going to show on the screen. But the good thing is my stream is a lot more cleaner than it was. Now, once I get the internet connection in that Pugman helped out with, I'll be able to run it on my regular computer, have that same smooth streaming that we have right now, and it will show up on the screen. So I already knew that was going to happen. But again, thanks for the donation. I don't think Richard also doesn't have... well, no, he has one that does show up. But like I said, this is what I was going to change up tonight to see whether this works. I like this working a lot better. I'll take a more cleaner stream than, having something pop up. And this is only temporary, folks. So... yeah, you can now 3D print guns, but, but most people just 3D print the parts in order to turn something into an automatic weapon, Zach. Definitely not going to be that announcer from the Cell games. I can't wait until they come out with the next Dragon Ball series. A lot of people hated Dragon Ball Super, but I actually liked it. I think it was pretty good. Yeah, that's just the way things are going to be, KCB. But a lot of the 3D printed guns only fire like 1 or 2 shots at most. I'm sure there's some designs that'll shoot 6 or so. But you'll see more of that, as well as AI. I've been using AI technology a bunch. So, yeah, when there's a will, there's a way in doing things. So, I think the biggest thing is not those types of 3D guns right now. It's just the ease of getting these automatic weapons to where people don't have to pay for them. They just get them on credit. So they have, a person would have access to anything they want to get. When did I last flip the switch in the gym? Many years ago. I don't do that kind of stuff anymore. That's just to prevent injury. Like I said, I'm 46 years old, it's not safe or healthy for me to do something like that. And I still get a really good workout anyway. Like this afternoon I did pull-ups and stuff on the Total Trainer and did reverses. And that's good for the back, and that's all you really need for me. I've already built up a lot of muscle, so there's no purpose of me in order to go balls to the wall or anything. 3D printing is going to do a lot of things. You're going to find houses are now being constructed with 3D printing. So we're moving into the era of the future. Majin Buu. Well, remember, Majin Buu went to sleep, Zach, in Dragon Ball Super. So, but I think that was a good thing because, the whole tournament really was about focusing in on certain people. And Majin Buu is still like a third-party person. He's not one of the Z fighters. So, yeah. I think they wanted to focus on the Z fighters in particular. Although they did have the androids as well. And the Android 18 actually won because Frieza and Goku knocked Jiren out of the ring. I won't do a Total Trainer live stream. It would be kind of boring. I mean, it's a very boring machine. The purpose is just to get a workout in. Plus, if I have an accident, I don't want to embarrass myself on a live stream. You could still get hurt on these machines. That's why I've said Richard shouldn't be doing any more live stream workout sessions. Why didn't they utilize Cell at all? And well, because he was in hell, Zach. He's dead. I think they showed a clip of him watching the tournament in hell. Antonio, it looks like it's gradual, but we'll just have to see. Whenever it happens, it'll be good mints, that's for sure. Oh, by the way, that's not a donation. The thing at the top, that's not a donation bar. That's just my phone having a lot of files on. So, that's not a donation bar. It's just my phone is full of stuff. What would my Dragon Ball wish be? Go back in time. Because then I would know all the betting races and stuff. And I can become a multi-millionaire then, so. Yeah, I like a home gym there, too. Well, Zach, that's because Cell was uncontrollable and way too dangerous to restore. Frieza, on the other hand, as crazy as he was, he I think Goku viewed Frieza like a more violent version of Vegeta, and obviously Goku made the right pick because at the end of the day, Frieza actually helped out Goku in beating Jiren and saving the Universe 7. They're gonna bring in the next Dragon Ball series, Andrew. They're definitely gonna bring Jiren in. So, I mean, that's just gonna be a given. Everyone liked Jiren. But you have to remember that Jiren is from a different universe. So it'd be interesting how they would play it. But you would if they make once they make another Dragon Ball series, they're definitely going to have Jiren. If they don't have Jiren, I'll be surprised. But hey, at least we got an orange Piccolo now. So Piccolo needed a power up like yesterday. I don't know what Piccolo's power level is. We've already had Jiren versus Broly. Remember what he did to that other female Broly? Just one shot and just took him out. Jiren's way more powerful than Broly. I think the quality's improved, actually. It just depends on which anime you're watching, Antonio. But you have to remember, they're doing thousands of episodes of different animes, so you can imagine how overwhelmed... because Japan, anime is a really big thing. So there's a lot of people around the clock working on anime. So there's going to be some bits and pieces and stuff. Zamatsu wasn't that strong. He wasn't a god. I think he was he was like a Supreme Kai, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But Beezus or maybe I'm thinking somebody else. But I think he was a Kai. He wasn't a destroyer. I didn't keep up with the Dragon Ball drawings, so I wouldn't have any opinion on that. I mainly watched the shows, read some of the books, but never got into the actual reading of anime books. Do I like Red Cell? I think that Red Cell was stupid. He made a good bad guy, but he was just out of control, Remember, the original Cell was very witty and arrogant and smart aleck. Red Cell was just an out of control monster. So I was kind of bored with. I didn't like Red Cell. Whenever I think of Cell, I think of him smarting off at people and being arrogant. And being full of himself. And Red Cell, he just nothing but power. Almost like Broly, if anything. All right, folks, we got 20 minutes left. Get your questions in. If you want to put some money on the pot, you can do that as well. That's good brandy. I never used the Power Tower model. I had a Total Gem 11,000, and I did use a 2,600, but those things are super expensive. They're like $8,000 or $9,000. So I've never used it, but it's the same. I mean, given the angle, it's pretty much the same as a 2,600 Total Gem. Yeah, there's no one like Perfect Cell. You know, I like the cool bad guy. You know, someone with some actual dialogue. Red Cell didn't have that. But hey, we got Orange Piccolo now, so. Blaha always thinks that he is the strongest human being on the planet, and him doing that Texas record just makes him more arrogant, but, you know, well, we all know the truth. He's not even close to being the strongest person on the planet. Andrew, he doesn't speak to me unless he contacts me in chat, and usually it's never for a good reason. I've asked him numerous times to mellow out and to get some help. But all you can do is tell people things here. But his ears are closed. You can't do anything with someone with closed ears. Piccolo's a pretty tall person. I would say he's almost 9 feet tall when he was Orange Piccolo. Those Namekians can stretch out, you know, so. Yeah, the Power Tower is a rehab machine quick pump. So that's what you'll find in a rehab environment. It's not something that they created the Power Tower for rehabilitation purposes. They didn't market it as an exercise machine. That's why I never used it. The 26,000, or excuse me, the 2,600 total gym was for athletes. So yes, I did definitely use that. It's pretty much the same machine, except it's not motorized. They actually listed his height on Google. Well, 7'5" is still very tall. That is a tall drink of water. Frank Bruno, a bodybuilder? I don't think so. Let's look it up. That's the first I've ever heard of it. I mean, he was a great boxer. There's nothing on his Wikipedia that says that he was a bodybuilder. But he was still a pretty big guy. So anyone can get into the Swordfish. They just need to make reservations. Sometimes you can actually walk into the Swordfish if they're not busy. I've done that before. But I prefer making reservations so that way I have my seat and everything. But yeah, anyone can go to the Swordfish. I mean, I talk and everything. It's just a nice throwback. I used to think real highly of Greg Doucette, but at this point in time with his books and everything, and after all of his antics he's done, it's made me question him, unfortunately. He needs to do a lot better. Well, Zach, I wouldn't say chiseled, but I think the boxer with the best physique actually was George Foreman. George Foreman had one of those old school, late 19th century, you know, those classic Queensberry type physiques. I think George Foreman had the best physique around. He had the perfect boxing physique. When it comes to boxing, you know, you're training to box, not to be a bodybuilder. So he had and you don't want to be too lean because with George Foreman's size and physique, he was able to absorb blows. Now, if you're like at 2% body fat, you can't absorb blows as much as someone with a little bit of safety fat on them. So I think George Foreman had the best physique of all. He had the right physique for bodybuilding. No, that was Joe Frazier, Zach. Ollie fought Frazier in Rumble in the Jungle. He's probably on more TRT than that, Athens. Like I said, right now I'm taking about 300 milligrams a week, so he's definitely going to be on more stuff than just 100. I mean, that's enough to where that doesn't do anything. Yeah, Fedor, it's the same with MMA. He had the right amount. You have to have the right amount of body fat to absorb blows. But Fedor was also a mat technician as well. That's why Fedor was so great. He can punch pretty hard, but his wrestling skills, sambo skills, were unmatched by anyone. I don't think The Rock would have been good at MMA. Without some training, I mean, he would also have to have aspirations. He might have been good, but I would seriously doubt it. Oh, I'm definitely not a cookie cutter. That's worse than calling me the N-word. To the wall, and I simply just don't need to do that at this point in time, especially at my age. You know, I train now for health and just to keep healthy. I don't need I got plenty of muscle, so I don't really have any need to do anything else other than that. Well, Greg bikes a lot. He bikes practically every day. So he can, and he definitely, he eats a super lean diet as well. But he's taking more stuff than just that. He's probably taking a lot of fat burners and the stuff. They have equal access to it. It's like Mark Lobliner with Tiger Fitness. He stays like that too. It's important also for him because him and Mark, because remember, if they're not ripped, Athens, then they can't sell products. Their physique is part of their advertising of their supplements. How much cardio do I perform? Not enough. I do cardio very sparingly, maybe like once a week, and I really need to do more. Danny Padilla was the shortest, most successful, the giant killer. I would say also Frank Zane was also, you could put Frank Zane in that category, as well as Chris Dickerson. Minutes left, so we're going to close down the chat close down the live stream pretty soon. So folks, get your questions in or get your donations in. No, I definitely wasn't on Blaha's side. I was friends with Lane Norton. I've been friends with him for quite some time, so I've not spoken to him in about 2 years or so forth. He's off doing his own thing. But yeah, I've not spoken to Lane in like 2 years at least. But yeah, I definitely wasn't on Blaha's side because Blaha was saying a lot of stuff about Lane that was definitely slander. Yeah, it was NPC. I was definitely not at his level, so I never... And that, he's also after my time as well. Oh, the soul poll? Yeah, I gotta do that. Let's go ahead and do it right now. me. Soul poll! I'll give quick pump. I'll give Lane the benefit of the doubt that he never. It's really not important as far as whether he took it or not. You have to remember the liberals like to point out that type of stuff, just to make them feel better about themselves and their physique. If they see someone with a great physique, they'll go ahead and automatically assume, he's on steroids and stuff. Barbecue sauce, why are you turning up so late, man? Got like 7 minutes left. Guess you're going to have to do the replay, but at least the replay is going to be pretty clear. So, should get a good replay on this, except for the first 20. But yeah, this stream has been going pretty good. I'm very pleased. And until my equipment gets in, I'm going to use this again, too. Let's get one more soul poll. Soul poll! Yeah, the only downside is my battery is going dead, but I still got plenty of juice left. Did I find Ray Dong Chong? Yeah, she looked alright in Commando. I mean, it's a movie, so they're not going to have ugly chicks on movies like that. Nope, no ugly chicks. Get a little bit of music going. Yes, sir. And no, we're not going to do the Tom and Jerry. Zach, I can grow a beard, but it would be all gray. So I would actually have to use some hair dye in order for me to do that. I think I look a lot better clean shaved. Backstabber is copyrighted, so I wouldn't be able to play something like that. no singing tonight. No singing. Quick Pump, that's copyrighted. Can't play it. Folks, if it's copyrighted, I can't play that stuff. Get a copyright strike. I have to play stuff from the YouTube library or something that's remixed. But I think everyone wanted me to play jazz music only, so they didn't like the Tom and Jerry remix, so I respect that. Oh, absolutely, Zach. If Mortal Kombat contacted me, oh, I would definitely play that. I would be immortalized as a video game. That would be awesome. Quick Pump, I'm not a good singer at all. I can do voice impersonations, but some voice impersonations. Like, hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. I can do that. Or I can do an English accent, or Australian, or I can do something from Scotland. But that's about it. All right, folks. It is 10 o'clock p.m. And it is the end of Earl Grey Tuesday. I want to thank Doggy. I want to thank Vince. I want to thank Andrew for donating. Want to thank everybody for joining me again for the show. Glad the internet's finally working on what I tried out, so we're going to do this again. I'm going to try something else and see whether it works on the computer or not. I don't know what happened to Vegan Games, but I'm sure I'll find out. But again, folks, I want to thank everyone for joining me for the live stream. And as always, folks, I'm the great one, the VINCEGOODRUM. You folks have a good night. And as always, peace and soul.